Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. Dr. Joe Salusto here with you again, here at Ellucian Live 2022 in beautiful Denver, Colorado at the Colorado Convention Center. And I am with, right now, probably, and I'm going to say probably, I'm going to say most likely the best dressed guest we have ever interviewed here at the EdUp Experience podcast. He's absolute
fire.
His name is Robert Ferilli. He's CEO and president of Ferilli. So when did you start the organization?
2004.
Okay, so 2004. Give me like the 5-year incremental journeys. 2004 to 2009. Every 5 years were you growing? I mean, or 10. You don't have to be so specific. How fast did you grow? How did coronavirus affect the organizational growth? Give me the whole story.
Look, the first 5 years were certainly the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I got myself into. We had very real payroll scares.
Yeah.
It's one of my my dearest friends that still works with us today. He goes, I know during those early days it was rough for Rob, and he goes, but I always got my paycheck. He goes, I don't know how he did it, but I always got my paycheck.
Yeah, that's funny.
And there were other small businesses that helped guide us through that pathway. And, I would say 5 to 6, 5 to 10, we really started to mature as an organization. We really started to hit our strides, garnered a good handle of the financials of professional services and how to make that work. And the past 10 years, we've been able to, because of our value set, I believe, garner such great talent in the industry. We have people that just want to help these institutions. And it is the sole focus of our organization to make these institutions successful. I always say that my people do the work that they love. They do it for the applause and the gratefulness of the institutions we serve. And I'm grateful for them in taking a chance on us, especially during those early days. Today, Ferilli's a very solid choice when it comes to IT professional services.
You said how many institutions? 500?
Yes, we've served over 500 institutions over this period.
Wow.
Amazing.
So let's talk about how this works. So I could be here at the conference and I need your services, IT services, whatever. How does it work? Talk to me about how a college engages you in your services. What's that process look like? How do you match up their needs and expectations with what your company can do? Talk about the value proposition of Ferilli a little bit.
Well, I will certainly say a lot of our, unfortunately, especially during the early days, a lot of our engagements started with a call at 10 o'clock at night of the Department of Ed requires this reports from us for a financial aid audit.
Yikes!
We were an early adopter of being 24/7.
Yeah.
And so we were able to take those calls, get them the reports that they needed, and garner a customer for life.
Yeah, the program reviews from the department. That's that'll freak you out when you get one of those. Yeah,
exactly. Today, just educating potential clients about the auto graduation process and how that can help improve their graduation rates, and also getting the information out there on how we could help folks that are, maybe at a crossroads and they're looking at a new system and need help with system selection or things of that nature. We assist with that. We just had a client recently approach us telling us that they purchased a new system and is looking for somebody to share with them best practices.
So as you've engaged with universities and colleges over the years, you're collecting best practices, data, updating your approach for future clients?
Absolutely. We are a hive of ideas, and
I like that.
We have, we have our own debates internally of which is the best way to do this.
Right.
I've worked in financial aid consulting for quite a long time. I've set up a ton of systems, but I got a ninja on our team, Peter Woodward.
I wish I had a ninja sound. I don't have a ninja sound.
Hi-ya!
Yeah. I like that you could do it for me. Go ahead. I love it.
And, I mean, he just kind of twisted my whole brain on how to approach the system. And it just made us overall better as an organization. And that's what's great about working at Ferilli is we're always pushing one another to do better and to add more value to our clients.
Yeah.
Love it. So what's the mission? Give me the mission, like the one-liner mission. Is that what it is? More value to clients?
No, it's really,
I didn't think it would be.
it's really just proactively helping people.
I like that.
And it's not only it's proactively helping our people being our clients, but also proactively helping people, our employees, and proactively helping people outside the organization as well.
Talk about data. This is a big data security, cybersecurity in the land of financial aid or SISs, student services. It's like a major thing now. Schools are getting hacked. They're getting, I saw the news the other day that a school is shutting down because they had a hack a year ago and haven't been able to recover from it. I can't remember who it was, but it's a major deal, and colleges are susceptible to IT attack and cyber. Talk about that whole world and how your organization can assist in that way.
Well, first off, I do a presentation that I was a hacker.
Nice.
As a teenager, I would say I was very good at getting into maybe systems that I shouldn't have been in.
Your presentation of you being a hacker isn't just of one that you're just creating. You were that experiment. You were doing that.
Exactly. And so, I mean, one of the things, I get the buzz.
That's
for that,
the incorrect for being a hacker.
But really what it does do is it gives me a perspective that others don't necessarily have.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And, what I would say back then, it was kind of something that was done for fun. Not what is happening today, which is locking up people's data for financial gain. I could have never imagined ransomware, and it deeply saddens me that folks target these institutions.
And institutions have a lot of data, social security numbers, profiles of students. It is a hacker. It is a data information stealer's dream because all that, and it's not properly protected like other industries would be. Right?
It is extremely hard. I mean, the banking and financial sector does a really good job at protecting their data. But other than that, I mean, we have no kind of national standards.
Right.
We have no guidance, and everybody is out there doing kind of their own individual thing.
Yep.
And as a result, that creates a large target for hackers. And we, higher education tends to lag a little bit behind corporate when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
And so we are, I think we're the number 3 target for hackers. One of the things I do want to mention, because I mean, ransomware really bothers me, and it bothers all the folks in our organization. We belong to an organization called Pledge 1%.
Mm-hmm.
And for any higher education institution that should suffer from an attack, we pledge to give them 100 hours free services to help them get back on their feet.
Okay, let's reiterate that one more time for the audience. That's pretty incredible. So for any institution that's been hacked,
yes,
you, Ferilli, offer 100 hours of free service to get that institution back on track.
Yes.
And then it's called what was it called again?
We're a part of an organization called Pledge 1%.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. That is pretty. I didn't know that, and now I do, and now I'm impressed. That's awesome. I would imagine that has happened. Has that happened?
Oh, it's happened quite a bit.
It's happening and happened.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things that sometimes schools are hesitant to reach out to us and contact us because maybe their insurance company recommended to bring somebody in.
Right.
There are plenty of things that we can help you with that are outside of the scope of what the insurance company is going to help you with, whether it's bringing up a student portal or bringing up an application that is critical that's not necessarily covered under the scope of your insurance. So we do, we try to take a look at it holistically on how we can help you get back on your feet.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. So so when you were doing things you shouldn't have been doing,
Yes,
I'm
maybe
assu-
this is me.
we're gonna call him Jim. But you were talking about this guy named Jim.
Oh,
right?
that guy named Jim.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm atoning for anything that Jim did.
And this probably happened to Jim.
Access denied.
Access granted.
See, and that's the scary thing about hacking is that you can get in and you can steal data. And I worry about higher ed, and we talked about it a lot with different technology companies. That's why, when you come to Ellucian and you go to other technology companies, one of the things that there's two main areas that are being looked at. It's cybersecurity and mental health. And how can those things assist in retention and holding students and holding data? In the people business, what's that ultimate value proposition? That you're helping students, you're helping organizations, you're helping employees. What's the one area where you feel you make the most impact? Or is there more than one?
There's definitely more than one.
Yeah.
And it's because we have individual units inside our organization. So we have the cybersecurity team
Nice.
that are helping schools to secure their environments, to audit their environments. We have the Ellucian team that's looking at business process decustomization, modernization, looking to make things more efficient, helping the school, working on retention and enrollment. We have our CRM team, Salesforce, Slate, that is helping folks with, improving enrollment. And then we have our cloud team that's helping folks get these data centers outside of your environment and get them into the, AWS or Azure cloud.
Yeah. Since you brought it up, I want to ask you about CRMs for a second.
Sure.
Because it's an area. How many schools switch CRMs? They switch them fast, don't implement them properly. They don't do what they want. Enrollment's on the decline in most institutions across the United States, especially in community colleges. Is the CRM effective? Is it a CRM problem? Is it a people problem? What do you think about the whole CRM game now? Because it's hard to find one that really gives everybody what they're looking for. Or is it the way you set it up that makes the difference?
It's the way you set it up that makes the difference. I'll be honest with you. All the software out there is usually good software. If it's gained any kind of mass market appeal, but it's about governance and how we set it up and having, being disciplined about processes and then leveraging.
Yeah.
Because how many people are leveraging their CRM data to drive digital marketing? So just to kind of give you an example of a campaign, let's take, students that applied, but we don't have a FAFSA on file for them.
Yeah.
Well, we could take that list and we could send them digital ads to say that you're eligible for more aid at XYZ college. Click here and fill out the FAFSA.
Right.
And what we found is because there's so much noise inundating these students that it takes about 10 to 12 times to see that information in order to get somebody to act.
Yes.
And we find that it's better than phone calls and way better than email.
There's so much noise around the student, literally, right?
Exactly.
It's about consistency, frequency of touches, and in the messaging and how the messaging it really shows a value proposition. Well, I'm excited for you guys. So what do you think of this conference? Why did you decide to come? Is it what you thought it would be? And what do you hope the next couple of days? What are you hoping to get out of the next couple of days?
Well, I've been working with Ellucian all my life.
Amazing.
So,
Great.
So, to miss this is like kind of to miss the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
But I think there is a lot of change and a lot of churn going on in technology and how we approach it. And what I'm most excited about is what's going to happen within the next 10 years, because we've gotten to a point of where we've digitized old processes.
Right.
And just to give you an example of that, look at web registration. All we did was take Arena Reg and put it online.
Mm-hmm.
What about if we redesign registration with the idea of all the information and the technology that we have today.
Mhm.
How can we reinvent it and actually make it better versus digitizing a legacy product, a legacy process? And so what I'm excited about is I feel like we've gone as far as we can digitizing the old processes. Now, how do we start with a blank slate with all the technology we have and redesign the process to make it better for the student?
100%.
We agree. 100%. We like to ask our guests the same two questions every time as we close an episode. Number one, what did I not ask you about Ferilli that you would like to say? Anything that you have coming up, events, talks, your website, anything at all that you want to say about Ferilli? Take a minute and self-plug away, because I've done that before on this podcast for myself. And then number two, what do you see as the future of higher education?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to kind of go back to the pledge 1% because I don't feel like enough people take us up on it.
That's amazing.
Because what we try to do is we try to give 1% of our time back as an organization to this cause. And, we fight really hard to hunt down the colleges that we know that have been hacked, but sometimes because we don't have the relationship, it's hard to kind of get in at that point in time. Please take us up on that offer. We are very sincere about it. It was not just my decision. It was an organization-wide decision to do this.
Amazing.
We are very, nothing sucks the oxygen out of the room like a hack. Nobody's talking about enrollment. Nobody's talking about retention. Nobody's
Right.
talking about mental health. They're talking about getting online. And all we want to do is help you get back online. So please take advantage of our commitment to give you 100 hours free.
Wow. And what do you see as the future of higher education?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
That's what we do here at the EdUp Experience podcast.
Cluster.
Exactly. I think I look at what I would say are some of my very progressive institutions where they have maker spaces on campus. Where I want to see higher education go, and this might not necessarily be where the future goes, but I want to see them to be institutions of continuous learning.
Yes.
We live in a day and age where 10 years of experience means you need to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Level up.
And so the question is how do, even for my own staff,
Yep.
like how could I get my staff into, some type of AWS program to level them up and get the certifications they need. We turn a lot to corporate training. I would like to turn more to higher education for these things. And and I love anybody that's doing a makerspace and that is inviting the community to participate in that makerspace and is providing, even just continuing education courses, because we are an entrepreneurial country.
Yep.
And I think those embed what higher education needs to be, which is continuous learning, not just getting that initial degree, but how do we keep everybody leveled up with the skills that they need in order to advance their careers.
Wow. Pretty good stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. I would check out Ferilli right away. What's the website again?
It is Ferilli.com.
Ferilli.com. I have his card in my hand.
It's a Ferilli.
It's a Ferilli. Everybody, his name, Robert Ferilli. He's president of Ferilli. And I would encourage you to go check it out. Remember the promise of 100 hours to get you back online. This is the third time we've said it on the episode. You could probably say it 30 more times because it's pretty darn impressive that somebody's willing to do that for you. So again, I want to reiterate that he is absolutely the best dressed guest that we have had here on the EdUp Experience podcast, maybe ever. Maybe.
Oh, wow.
It's possible.
I will dress down for the next.
Yeah. I will take the title of worst dressed EdUp Experience.
No, you got the EdUp gear on.
We do have EdUp gear. And you got an EdUp mug to take with you
I
now.
do have the EdUp mug.
There he is, guys. Robert Ferilli. You've just EdUped